ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। आप सभी का स्वागत है आज
We welcome all of you
गीता के प्रवचन में
to today's Bhagavad Gita class.
कर रहे हैं
We are studying
चतुर्थ अध्याय के 24वें श्लोक।
fourth chapter, verse 24 onwards.
भगवान ने कहा था यज्ञाय चरते कर्म समग्रम प्रविलीयते।
In the previous chapter,
अपने क्रियाकलाप अपने कर्म केवल यज्ञ
Bhagavan explained that one who does all activities for the sake of yajna, in the meaning for pleasure of Bhagavan or for service to others,
कर्म जो है वो विलीन हो जाते हैं,
all his karmas become dissolved,
धर्म में नहीं बनता।
meaning that he does not get bound by the karma.
तो इसमें प्रश्न उठता है कि ये यज्ञ क्या है।
So then the question is that what is yajna?
क्योंकि प्राय करके यज्ञ की हमारी जो धारणा है वो यही है,
Because our general understanding of yajna is that there is an agni kund where there is fire Brahmanas, Yajmanas are sitting
कुछ
and
द्रव्य तिल जौ चावल
they have some
यज्ञ की आहुति अग्नि में
items
डालते
like
हैं,
till, jaw, etc. and they
देवता की
put
प्रसन्नता
this
के
in
लिए या
fire
भगवान की
for the
प्रसन्नता के
pleasure
लिए।
of devatas or Bhagavan.
तो इसमें प्रश्न ये उठ सकता है कि जो भगवान ने कहा यज्ञ आचरता है कर्म,
So
इसका मतलब
question may be
यज्ञ के लिए कर्म करता हुआ, तो क्या वो
that Bhagavan said
कुछ
that
काम ना करे, बैठ के यज्ञ ही करता
one
रहे?
should perform karma for yajna.
संभव नहीं
So
है
then the question
कि
is,
अगर
then
यज्ञ
should he
करना
not
है
do
तो
anything else? He
सामग्री का
should do only yajnas all the time?
सम्मलन
And
करना
that is also
होगा,
not possible because for conducting yajna, you
उसके लिए
have
कुछ
to
धन
gather all the
चाहिए,
required
उसके
items.
लिए
You
धन
need
कमाने के
money,
लिए कार्य करना होगा, तो
and for
उसमें यज्ञ
earning
के लिए
money,
कैसे
you
कार्य
have to
करेगा?
work. So how can
जब
one
क्रिया
do
करेगा तो वो
yajna
यज्ञ
all
कहा
the time? Or
जाएगा,
even how can one work for yajna all the
या
time?
कुछ और यज्ञ शब्द का अर्थ है यहाँ पर?
So is there any other meaning
उसी
of
विषय
the
में
word
भगवान
yajna here?
7 श्लोक बोलते हैं,
So regarding that, Bhagavan speaks
24 से लेकर
7
30
verses
तक, और इसमें विभिन्न
from
प्रकार की
24 to
क्रियाओं को
30,
यज्ञ की
and
संज्ञा दी
here
है।
he refers to
कहने
various
का मतलब ये है
activities
कि यज्ञ
as
का जो
yajna.
एक मूल रूप हम समझते
Point
हैं,
is that
उसके
the
अलावा
original
यज्ञ
meaning of
शब्द का
yajna
अर्थ
that we
कुछ विस्तार
understand,
किया है।
Bhagavan has
तो
expanded
यज्ञ
on
का
the
मतलब
meaning of
केवल
the word yajna.
अग्नि में आहुति
That
देना ही नहीं है,
does not just mean offering oblations into the
देवता
fire.
उद्देश्य न द्रव्य त्यागे यागे, ऐसे कहा जाता है कि
It
याग
is said
यज्ञ
that
जो है वो देवता के
yajna
उद्देश्य से अग्नि में आहुति देना, उसको याग बोलते हैं। तो यहाँ भगवान
is
यज्ञ
also
का कुछ
giving
विस्तृत
pouring oblations into the fire for
वर्णन किया
devatas,
है
that is also
25 से
yajna.
30
So
श्लोक
here
में।
Bhagavan gives
तो उसी
an
का वर्णन यहाँ
expanded
पर कर
meaning
रहे
of
हैं,
the word yajna.
ब्रह्मार्पणम ब्रह्म हविर, ब्रह्म है, हव्य पदार्थ ब्रह्म है,
The ladle is
यज्ञ
Brahman, the
जिसमें
oblation is
आहुति दी
Brahman,
जाती है
the
वो ब्रह्म है,
sacrificial fire in which the
जिस
offering is
पुरोहित
made is
द्वारा
Brahman,
आहुति दी
the
जाती है
priest by whom
वो
the
ब्रह्म है,
sacrifice is performed is
या
Brahman, and the
आहुति
act of
देने की क्रिया
offering
जो होती
oblations
है,
is Brahman.
इस
Brahman
दृष्टि में
alone is
ब्रह्म
to be
से वो
attained by that
ब्रह्म
person
तल्लीन है,
whose consciousness is
जिसका
absorbed in
परिपूर्ण ज्ञान
sacrificial
प्राप्त हो
action,
जाए।
which is of the nature of Brahman.
तो यहाँ जो यज्ञ की मूल परिभाषा है
So
यज्ञ का,
here the original meaning of yajna, pouring
उसके
oblations
विषय
into
में
the fire.
भगवान पहले बोलते हैं,
First of all, Bhagavan is explaining that,
और वो बताते हैं कि
and he
यज्ञ जो
says
किया जाता है उसमें
that
ऐसी
yajna,
भावना व्यक्ति को रखनी चाहिए जो यज्ञ कर रहा है कि
what should be the bhava
जो कुछ भी है वो
behind
सब
doing yajna?
ब्रह्म
The
ही है।
bhava should be that everything
जैसा
is
कि उपनिषद
Brahman,
में कहा गया है, सर्वम खलु
like it
इदम
is said in
ब्रह्म,
the Upanishad
कि यहाँ जो भी है
that
सब ब्रह्म है,
everything is
क्योंकि
here
ब्रह्म
is
से ही
Brahman,
आया है।
because
जैसे
everything has come from
मिट्टी
Brahman
से
only.
आप कुछ बर्तन बनाए
Like if
तो
you
जितना भी
manufacture some
आप बर्तन
utensils
बनाएंगे वो
from
मिट्टी ही
clay
है।
or earth, so whatever you
वैसे ही
manufacture, that
कुछ
is
आप
clay or earth
आभूषण
only.
बनाए
If you make
तो जितने भी आभूषण
golden
बनते हैं वो भी
ornaments,
स्वर्ण ही है।
so the ornaments that you make, they
उनके
are also
नाम
gold
अलग
only.
अलग हो सकते हैं,
They may have different names
लेकिन
and
उनका जो
forms,
मूल द्रव्य है वो
but
तो स्वर्ण ही
the
है।
original material
तो
with
इसी
which they are
प्रकार
made
ये
of
पूरा
is
संसार जो है
gold only.
वो
Similarly, this
ब्रह्म से
whole
ही आया
world
है,
has
जन्माद्यस्य
appeared
यतः,
from Brahman only.
इसका जन्म,
Janmadhyasya yatah.
इसकी सृष्टि ब्रह्म से हुई है।
It's it has
इसके
originated, it
मूल
has been
कारण
created by Brahma only.
वो
Brahma is
केवल
the
उपादान कारण
main
ही नहीं
cause,
है,
the
अभिन्न
original cause behind
उपादान
this.
कारण है। इसके
But no,
बनाने
and
वाला
Brahma is
निमित्त
not
है
just Upadan Karan,
और बनने
but the
वाला भी
Nimitta
स्वयं
Karan
ही है।
also.
प्राय
He
करके
has
क्या
made
होता है
it.
कि जो बनाने वाला होता है
Generally, what
वो कुछ
happens,
द्रव्य
the
पदार्थों को लेकर
creator, he
प्रस्तुत करता है।
uses some
जैसे
elements,
सुनार है वो
some,
आभूषण
and he
बनाता
makes
है तो
something.
सोना लेकर
Like
उससे
if a
आभूषण तैयार करता
goldsmith is making some ornaments out of gold.
है। लेकिन
But
भगवान जब
here,
संसार की
when
सृष्टि करते हैं
Bhagavan creates this world,
तो सृष्टि करते हैं और उसमें जो
so he
द्रव्य पदार्थों का उपयोग करते हैं वो भी स्वयं ही है।
creates this world, and
द्रव्य
whatever items
पदार्थ
he
तो
uses, that
वस्तु
is
तो एक
also
ही है,
himself, he only,
वस्तु तो एक ही
because there
है।
is nothing other than him.
तो
The original tattva is one only.
जिस द्रव्य से जो वस्तु बनाई जाए
So the
उस द्रव्य को
items with
उसको
which
उपादान
it is
बोलते हैं.
made, the raw materials for making
उसको बनाता
something,
है
they are called the upadan karan. And the one who is
भगवान
manufacturing,
जो
he
है
is
तो
called the
वो भी
nimitta
उपादान
karan.
कारण
So
भी है
Bhagavan
और
is both.
निमित्त कारण भी
He
है.
is the upadan karan
निमित्त उपादान कारण
and the nimitta karan also.
तो क्योंकि वो स्वयं ही उपादान है
So because
तो
he
इसलिए जो
himself
भी
is the
दिखाई दे रहा
upadan,
है ये ब्रह्म ही है. ब्रह्म स्वरूप
whatever
ब्रह्म
this world is made of, that is he
केवल
only.
निराकार ब्रह्म
That is
स्वरूप
why
नहीं है.
this whole world is also
निराकार होगा तो वो तो दिखाई
called
नहीं
as
देगा.
Brahma.
जब ये कहा गया है
But
कि
that
सब
does
कुछ
not
ब्रह्म
mean
है तो
just
उसका तो आकार है,
Nirakar.
रूप है, गुण है.
Otherwise, you can't see
इसका
anything.
मतलब यहाँ
So
सगुण ब्रह्म
Brahma
से है.
doesn't have form. So here it is referring to Sagun Brahma.
हालांकि निर्गुण ब्रह्म की दृष्टि से भी इस श्लोक का अर्थ किया जा
Although
सकता है,
this verse can be
निर्गुण
interpreted in the
ब्रह्म
sense of
एक शब्द
Nirgun Brahma
उपाधि
also,
आरोपित किया गया है.
then you can say that the
लेकिन ब्रह्म
Upadhi has
स्वरूप
been
यहाँ
imposed
शक्ति
on
ही
it.
है, भगवान है, उनकी शक्ति है. और ये जो प्रकृति जिससे उन्होंने बनाया है ये उन्हीं की प्रकृति है और ये उन्हीं की
Whatever
शक्ति है.
this Prakriti belongs
शक्ति
to
और
him only.
शक्तिमान
This
में
Shakti is
भेद होता है,
his only.
इसलिए कहा
And
जाता
there
है
is
कि ये वही
non-difference
है.
between Shakti and
इसलिए
Shaktiman.
गीता में भी
That's why
कहा
it
गया
is
है कि
said
स्वयं
this is
तत्व
Bhagavan
वासुदेव
only.
सर्वमिति.
That's why later in
तो ये
Gita
सब
it will be said
वासुदेव इनके वो स्वयं ही है,
that this is all Vasudev,
स्वयं ही इस
him
रूप में
only.
प्रकट हुए हैं.
He only
इस रूप में
appears
प्रकट
as
होने का
this,
मतलब उनकी जो बहिरंग
himself
शक्ति है
appearing as this,
प्रकृति है
meaning that
उसी से
his
उन्होंने
Bahiranga
इस सभी को
Shakti,
बनाया है.
this Prakriti, he has made
इसलिए
all
इस
this with
श्लोक
that
में
energy.
बताया है इसी बात को
So this is
कि
what is being explained in this verse.
ब्रह्मार्पणम,
Brahma Arpanam,
जिससे आप अर्पण करते हैं.
by which you do
जब आपने
Arpana,
देखा होगा यज्ञ किया जाता
the
है
ladle.
तो
You must have seen when the yajna is done,
उनको
the
श्रुवा बोलते हैं जिससे
ladle
यज्ञ
is
गाया
used. It
जाता
is
है.
called
वो पत्थर का
Shrukshruva.
बना हुआ होता है तो जिससे
It is made of wood,
अर्प्यते है, नहीं नहीं थी अर्पणम, जिससे अर्पण किया जाता है, जिसको
by
धरती से
which
आहुति
you
डाली
offer.
जाती है. अगर हाथ से डाल रहे हैं तो हाथ भी ब्रह्म ही है.
If you are pouring oblation by
किसी
hand, then
उसको
the hand is Brahma.
किसी
And
चम्मच
if
या
you are
इत्यादि
pouring
से
it
डाल
by
देते हैं
ladle,
चमचा से
then that
तो उससे
is
के अलग अलग नाम है,
Brahma.
उसमें सुख है, श्रुवा है.
So in Veda, the ladles have different
तो
meanings, different
इसी
words are
प्रकार
used for
यहाँ
them.
कहा कि ब्रह्म ही है, वो भी
So it
ब्रह्मार्पणम.
is said
जो
here that
पात्र
is
जिसमें
also Brahma
सामग्री
only,
रखी हुई है आहुति की
or
वो भी
the
ब्रह्म ही है.
vessel in which the items,
और
the sacrificial items are kept, that is also Brahma only.
ब्रह्मा अर्पणम ब्रह्म हवि, तो हवि जिसकी आहुति दी जाती है उसको हविस बोलते हैं.
So the item that is
इसमें
offered, that
बताया
is called
जौ
Havish.
तिल
It contains
चावल घी
jaw, til, chawal,
इत्यादि
that is rice, then
और
ghee,
जड़ी बूटियां भी होती हैं, विभिन्न प्रकार के
and some other herbs are
विभिन्न
also there
प्रकार के
according to as
द्रव्य
required by different
हवि रूप में
yagyas.
डाले जाते हैं.
These different
तो
items,
वो
they
भी
are
ब्रह्म ही है,
poured into the fire.
ब्रह्म स्वरूप
So
है.
these items are also Brahma
तो
only.
उसको हव्य बोलते हैं.
They are known
जो
as
यज्ञ
Havya,
किया जाता है उसको
the
हव्य बोलते हैं.
oblation.
जो
What
श्राद्ध
is
किया
offered in
जाता है
the
उसको कव्य
yajna is
बोलते हैं.
Havya, and what is offered in Shraddha is
इसलिए कहा
Kavya.
ब्रह्म हवि.
So here it is said
और
Brahma Havi.
ब्रह्मणाहुतम, तो ये जिस अग्नि में ब्रह्माग्नौ, जिस अग्नि में आहुति दी जाती है वो भी
Brahma
ब्रह्म ही है.
Agnav, the fire, the
उसको
sacrificial fire in which the offering
ब्रह्मणाहुति
is
भी
made,
बोलते हैं.
that is also called Brahma.
मुख है उसमें.
Fire is known as the mouth
और
of
जिसके
Brahman, in
द्वारा
which
आहुति
the
दी जाती है वो
sacrificial items are poured,
तो
and
ब्राह्मण है,
the person,
यजमान है.
the priest by whom this sacrifice is performed, he is also Brahman.
तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि
The meaning is
संस्कृत में
that in Sanskrit
8 प्रकार की विभक्तियां होती
you
हैं.
have 8
कर्ता,
vibhaktis.
कर्म, करण, संप्रदान, अपादान, संबंध, अधिकरण, संबोधन. तो संबोधन का तो यहाँ आया नहीं है, लेकिन
So Sambodhan
इसको
is not appeared here.
उसका भी
That is
अर्थ
not required.
किया जाए मंत्र के
But
रूप में तो वो भी ब्रह्म ही है.
If you take it as the mantra, that is also Brahma only.
सभी कारक हैं
All the karakas, they are all rupas of Brahma only.
इस प्रकार से जो यज्ञाहुति देता है यानी कि ये निष्काम यज्ञ करता है
So in this way, one who pours the sacrificial items, the oblations in the fire, he considers himself also as Brahma only. So why will he desire anything for himself? Because he considers himself also as that. So what will be the destination? What will be his destination? What will he attain? He will attain Brahma only. Because if he is seeing Brahma in everything, in the oblation, in the fire, in himself, in the vessels, so he will attain Brahma alone.
और इसको उन्होंने कहा कि ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिना,
And he says this is Brahma Karma Samadhina.
कर्म समाधि बोलते हैं। ये जो ब्रह्म यज्ञ कर रहा है,
He is doing this Brahma Yagya, so he has given the name Brahma Karma Samadhi.
जैसे जब व्यक्ति समाधि की अवस्था में
Because
होता है,
when a person is in the state of Samadhi,
समाधि दो प्रकार की होती है,
so that time Samadhi is of two types, Sampragyat and Asampragyat.
संप्रज्ञात समाधि में किसी विषय पर ध्यान किया जाता है, कोई
In Sampragyat Samadhi, you have to focus on
तो उस समय उसके अलावा
something,
कुछ रहता नहीं है,
some form, something. So that time there is nothing else. One who is sitting in that state of Samadhi, his focus is only on that object, nothing else.
यहाँ उस प्रकार की समाधि नहीं है कि व्यक्ति
So here it is not that type of Samadhi where a person is sitting having closed his eyes. This is Karma Samadhi.
व्यक्ति बैठता है,
One is a person is just sitting in Samadhi, being inactive. He has left everything else. That Bhagavan will explain that in the 6th chapter.
नाम या रूप पर ध्यान करता है,
And he
और एक ऐसी अवस्था
meditates on some name or form.
अलावा और कुछ बचता नहीं है,
And he reaches a state where
ध्येयाकार हो जाते हैं,
there is nothing other than the dhyaya.
जिस पर वो ध्यान
He has no other thought in mind.
हो जाता है। लेकिन यहाँ पर
Whatever he is just focused on that.
कर्म समाधि,
So, but here Bhagavan is speaking about
हुए समाधि,
karma samadhi, samadhi while doing karma.
दृष्टि रखना, ये भाव रखना,
So having this type of bhava
ब्रह्म ही है, तो ये
that everything is Brahma, this is Brahma karma samadhi. And samadhi word is it's a good word,
शब्द जो सुनते हैं,
samadhi and samadhan. Like if somebody has some samasya, meaning some problem, so we find out a solution, that is called samadhan.
ब्रह्म कर्म
So samadhi and samadhan, they are derived from same root.
समाधान हो गए,
So Brahma Karma Samadhi, meaning that now all his problems are solved because he is seeing Brahma in everything.
मतलब तो वो
Then where is the problem?
प्रतिकूल
The problem is when you see something unfavorable,
करते हैं, लेकिन
which you don't like.
समाप्त हो गया,
But here the duality is gone.
हो गया, वो
He is situated in Advaita.
समस्या प्रतिकूल अनुकूल ऐसा कुछ द्वंद रहता नहीं है,
In Advaita, there is no problem or anything unfavorable or anything.
स्थिति में वो पहुंच जाता है।
So when he reaches this state of with this Brahma Karma Samadhi, his destination, what he will attain, is also Brahma only.
प्राप्त करना कोई आसान काम नहीं,
But it is not easy to achieve this or attain this state.
ये आराम से हो जाएगा,
It will not happen so easily.
और उसका कारण क्या है कि
And the reason is
हमारे अंदर हमारा अपना अहंकार है,
we have our own ego.
और अहंकार का कार्य ही ये होता है जो हमको एक अंदर से स्वतः ही भावना देता है, भाव
And the function of ego is to naturally give this feeling or bhava that my existence is different from all others. This I-ness, it comes from the ahankar.
अहंकार का ये मूल गुण है,
And this is the original main quality of ahankar,
भावना बड़ी सुदृढ़ रूप से आती है
to give this strong feeling, understanding that I am different from others. I have my own individual existence. So uh, if we have this strong sense, then it is not possible to have the bhava of sarvam khalvidam brahma. So in brahma karma samadhi, one has to give up this type of bhava, and that is why it is difficult, because as long as you have this ahankara bhava, till then you will see duality, you will see yourself also. You can practice seeing brahma in others, you can practice also that brahma is in this also, that also. So when you practice like this, then what will you do is your existence will also be maintained, and you will superimpose brahma on these other material objects. That is not actually experience of brahma. You will not experience that everything is Vasudev.
तो इस प्रकार की वास्तविक अनुभूति आपको नहीं होगी.
So you will not have this real experience that everything is Vasudev. You will imagine in the mind,
उसको आरोपित करेंगे उन वस्तुओं के ऊपर.
and in this imagination you will
वो एक स्वाभाविक स्थिति आपकी नहीं है.
ascribe or do arop or superimpose this concept of Brahma on others. So Bhagavan is not talking about that imagination or imposition.
ये मैंपना उसको छोड़ना पड़ेगा.
What Bhagavan is telling, in order to experience that, you have to give up your sense of
तो ये
I-ness, and that is difficult.
उन्होंने यहाँ पर की है.
So here he has explained this Brahma Karma Samadhi here,
के द्वंद्व
and for that you have to finish off the dualities in you, because when we have duality in us, we will see duality outside also. If we have raga dvesh, attachment and aversion within,
हमको
then
बाहर दिखाई पड़ेंगे.
we will see that outside also,
राग द्वेष के कारण
and we will divide everything into two.
हम बाहर की वस्तु
Then due to raga dvesh, there will be favorable, unfavorable. We will divide everything in two categories.
ब्रह्म है, ये अग्नि भी ब्रह्म है. तो ये
Then we will not have this vision. It is not possible to have the vision that this is Brahma, that is Brahma, all this Ahuti is Brahma. Not possible. So this is important verse, because
करते समय भी
uh, this verse is recited while having food also, because when we are having eating food, that is also a yajna. So there is this fire of digestion in the stomach, and when we are eating food, it is like pouring oblation in the fire.
अग्नि में आहुति डाली जाती है.
So just like the oblation is poured in the sacrificial fire,
हुआ है.
similarly our hand is the ladle, the food is the havish,
माध्यम से
and through the mouth it goes into the fire of digestion.
यज्ञ रूप में
So that can also be seen as a yajna,
करने से पहले
and that is why
प्रथा है कुछ लोगों की कि वो इस
before
उच्चारण
accepting food, some people they recite this verse.
तो आगे भी
This custom is there.
भगवान
Then
बोलते हैं
in the next verse,
बारे में बोलते
he speaks about other types of yagyas.
वास्तविक यज्ञ तो नहीं है जो जो यज्ञ हम समझते हैं.
So this is not the yagya in the sense that we generally understand,
जैसे मैंने कहा
but this is more of symbolic in nature.
के रूप में देख
Like as I said, that eating food, we can see that also as yagya. So it is not the traditional type of yagya that we understand, but it can be taken as symbolically as yagya. In that way, every action can be symbolically taken as yagya.
एवमेव परे यज्ञम योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माग्नौ अपरे यज्ञम यज्ञेनैव प्रचुव्यति. तो कहते हैं कि कुछ अन्य जो कर्म योगी
Translation: others, the karma yogis, engage in consummate worship through sacrificial rites intended exclusively for the devatas. Others, the jnana yogis, offer the self or yagya into the fire of Brahman simply by the sacrificial utterance of pranava or yagya.
तो ये और दो प्रकार के यज्ञों
So here he is explaining two more types of yagyas,
ये सारे यज्ञ जो यहाँ पर आते
and
हैं कर्म
all the yagyas that are coming here, they come under the category of karma yoga only, because when this section was started, that time Bhagavan had said
कि मैं आपको कर्म का वर्णन करूंगा जिसको समझकर आप अशुभ से मुक्त हो जाओगे, और अंत में जाकर भी वो यही कहेंगे कि ये जो कर्मजान विद्धि तान सर्वान एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्षसे, ये जितना भी मैंने वर्णन किया है,
so he'll say that whatever I have explained,
जान कर्म से ही समझिए। तो ये
you should understand it as karma. So this is all being explained under the section of karma yoga only. As such, jnana yoga is different, ashtanga yoga will also be described, but here everything is explained in the from the point of view of karma yoga. So first he is telling that some others, they do daiva yagya, the yagya's sacrificial rites for devatas. This daiva yagya is done for pleasure of devatas. So for that there are many types of yagyas referred in the Vedas. In Smritis also yagyas are explained. So this is different from what was explained in the previous verse. And here yogi word means those who do nishkam karma, such sadhakas, those who work for yagya, and the entire activity they do not consider it for themselves. Instead, they take it for their ishta.
केवल कुछ देवता के लिए यज्ञ ही कर रहा है।
Here, Devam Aprayagyam does not mean he is doing it just for devatas. He can do that also.
लेकिन मूल बात यह है कि इसमें
The main point is that the entire activity, all the items, like it was said in the earlier verse, they are all Brahma only. So here, whoever is his worshipable deity, Ishtadev, he sees him only in everything, whether it is the item or anything else.
वो भी एक प्रकार का यज्ञ है। तो
so that is also a type of yagya only. So he worships through that.
करेंगे तो उसको भगवान को अर्पण करके फिर प्रसाद रूप में ग्रहण करना, ये भी दैव।
So if you are eating, you offer to Bhagavan, take prasad. That is also yagya only. So here the main point is the deva, and the deva of all devas, that is Vasudev. So keeping him in the vision, doing everything for him, for his pleasure, like Bhagavan instructs.
तो वो सब सर्वश्रेष्ठ दैव यज्ञ है।
So that is the greatest yagya, greatest daiva yagya. And yagya means in which there are three actions: dana, puja, and sangatikaran, that is the charity, worship. Sangatikaran, that comes from yash dhatu. So there is dana, that is charity, there is puja or worship, and sangatikaran, to accumulate or collect. And when a person does yagya like this, then he attains moksha or liberation. So he can do it from sakam, with sakam mentality, or with nishkam mentality also. But here what is being explained is with nishkam mentality.
दूसरा जो यहाँ पर यज्ञ बताया गया,
the other type of yagya that Bhagavan explains here is,
तो इसमें दो शब्दों का प्रयोग किया है कि
in the second line, here he has used two words.
और यज्ञ से ही करते हैं, तो यहाँ यज्ञ का मतलब स्वयं को।
Here yagya means himself, meaning to offer the self, offer oneself in the fire of Brahman,
शक्ति मानना, उसी का अंश मानना,
considering oneself as the angsha of Brahma or his Shakti. And the fire of Brahma means like offering oneself to Bhagavan, surrendering to Bhagavan, taking his shelter.
ब्रह्माग्नि में अपने आप की आहुति देना है.
That is like offering the self into the fire of Brahman.
या दूसरा अर्थ है कि जो भी क्रियाकलाप करते हैं वो
Or the
यज्ञ
other meaning is to whatever we do it for yajna.
और यज्ञ की जो प्रतीकात्मक यहाँ पर एक उदाहरण दिया गया है, उसका कहने का मतलब होता है कि जैसे
Or the
अग्नि
symbolic explanation that is being given here, the example that is given, you can take it like when the fire burns,
जाती है,
so it goes up.
तो उसी प्रकार हमारी
Similarly,
जो है वो
our
की तरफ
consciousness,
कि हम
it should be
अग्रसर
always
हों,
uplifting. We should always
और
move
जैसे
towards
अग्नि में
Bhagavan.
कुछ भी डालो
Its consciousness should also
तो
always be
उसमें
turned
उजाला
towards
रहेगा.
Bhagavan. So when you put anything in the fire, it
इसी
becomes
प्रकार
purified.
को भी अपना चित्त इसी प्रकार रखना कि उसमें कोई मल ना रहे.
Similarly, to keep our consciousness pure so that there is no impurity in that. That is also yajna. That our consciousness should be pure, mind should be pure. We should not have lust, greed, anger, envy. All these impurities, they should get out of our chitta. To burn them. Burning means we remove them from our chitta. We do not give shelter to these impurities in our chitta. So this is like offering oneself in the fire of Brahman. Like when you offer something in the fire, in the sacrifice, it also it will burn and it also becomes like fire only. So offering oneself in the fire of Brahman, becoming Brahma Swarup, meaning that there should be no more impurity in us, like Brahman is completely pure. Similar level of purity should appear in us. For that reason, here it is said,
और सबसे बड़े आहुति जो है वो अपने अहंकार की आहुति है.
the biggest
क्योंकि सारी समस्याएं जो है वो अहंकार
offering is that of Ahankar, because all problems arise from Ahankara only.
हम जिनको अवगुण कहते हैं, जितने भी अवगुण
Whatever we refer to as bad quality, they all are hung up on Ahankara only. Like I said earlier also, as long as we have the sense of doership and enjoyership, till then we remain bound by karma. But when this kartritva and bhoktritva, the doership and enjoyership bhava will be finished, will be there no more, then it is like offering oneself in the fire of Brahman and we will become free from the bondage of karma. Then in the next verse he says,
संयमाग्नि सुजुवती शब्दादीन विषयानन्ये इंद्रिया में सुजुवती. कुछ अन्य साधक आत्म संयम
others offer the sense faculties such as hearing and so on into the fire of self-discipline. Others again offer the objects of perception such as sound and so on into the fire of the senses. So here also it is being said symbolically, this Tayyam, that is self-discipline. So offering the ahuti, the sacrifice of the senses into the fire of self-discipline, meaning to keep the senses controlled, disciplined, regulated, meaning to use them only as much as is needed, not more than what is required.
जैसा पहले भगवान ने कहा कि इंद्रियस्य अर्थे राग द्वेष व्यवस्थितो.
So as Bhagavan said earlier,
हर एक इंद्रिय के अपने विषय में कुछ राग और द्वेष रहते हैं.
every sense has raga dvesh for it, the sense object. So not being under its control, because coming under its control, that is the biggest obstacle on our path of progress.
डाकू लटेरे हैं, वो हमारी शक्ति का हनन करते हैं।
These are dacoits.
इंद्रियाणि अन्य संयम
They
संयम रूपी
destroy our character.
उनकी आहुति देना।
So to offer the senses in the fire of self-discipline, as Bhagavan had said earlier, to keep the senses controlled, just like a tortoise.
कूर्मांगानि व सर्वस्य इंद्रियाणि इंद्रियार्थेभ्यस्तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। तो जैसे कछुआ अपनी इंद्रियों को तभी बाहर निकालता है जब
A tortoise brings its limbs out only when required, otherwise it keeps them under its shell.
जब भी कोई उसको कुछ खतरा नजर आता है तो एकदम से
whenever it sees any senses any danger, then it brings all the senses, all the organs under its shell. So our senses also should be like this, not like a camel. Wherever we see some greenery, we keep moving there, because our senses are naturally attracted towards sense objects. So to protect ourselves from that attraction, like it is said in Bhagavatam, that whatever we need for sustaining our life, whether it is food or whatever, so accept that much only, not more than that. So this is self-discipline. It is difficult, it is not easy, but it is also yajna. So he is telling this is also yajna, that in the fire of self-discipline you offer the oblations. So sadhak has to be very careful about this in whichever path he is, because this self-discipline is required in every path, whether it is karma, jnana or bhakti. Sadhu means one who does sadhana. He remains disciplined. This is required for everyone. And Sanyam, self-discipline, does not mean suppression. Suppression is different, and we should understand the difference. Suppression means externally we are not doing that activity, but internally we have strong desire towards that sense object, and we have the desire to enjoy the sense objects is always burning within. Like you have a pressure cooker, so water is boiling in that, it converts to steam, but outside you don't see any steam. Outside it is very peaceful, but inside, when the pressure goes beyond a certain limit, then it comes out very powerfully. Similarly, if we are just suppressing, then sometime or the other it will come out, because inside it is burning. There is a lot of pressure within. So self-discipline means we should use the sense objects, we should not do their bhoga, means we should not enjoy them for ourselves. And in suppression, we do not use the sense object, but we keep the desire for enjoying them. So that is not beneficial. Bhagavan had told earlier that the person who is just suppressing, he is a hypocrite. He is just showing off, and it will not benefit him. So we have to understand this also. So first, earlier it was said offering senses in the fire of self-discipline, and then it was said offering the objects of perception into the fire of senses. So point is same only. First keep the senses controlled, and then
संयम करना भी विषय से ही है।
offer the objects into the fire of senses.
प्रत्याहार बोलते हैं अष्टांग योग में।
In Ashtanga Yoga, it is called Pratyahar.
प्रत्याहार
The 8 limbs of
कि इंद्रियों को विषय
Pratyahar are there. Pratyahar means not allowing the senses
भी
to be absorbed in sense objects.
यज्ञ का नाम दिया है।
This is what Bhagavan is telling, that this is yajna. So for that there is yamaniyam. Following them, practicing them is very essential.
उनको अपनी बुद्धि से हमको अपने दिनचर्या में लाना है।
So with our intelligence, we should use them in our daily life. In yoga, sanyam or self-discipline is used in a specific sense also, in which dharana, dhyan and samadhi, all three when they are together, then that is called sanyam. Like it is said in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, dharana, dhyan and samadhi together constitute sanyam. So here that meaning can also be applied, although that meaning will be there in the next verse. Here sanyam mainly means to keep them disciplined. So one is yama. Yama means to keep the senses controlled from sense objects, not doing something wrong, to be away from doing wrong things. And niyam is doing the right thing, doing the right activity. And for that, you need sanyam, self control, self discipline. Because if you have to stay away from wrong activities and engage in right activities, you have to be disciplined. And even if you want to do the right thing, you still have to be disciplined. That's why sanyam or self discipline is of utmost importance. Then he explains in the next verse,
आत्म संयम योगाग्नो जुवति ज्ञान दीपिते। कुछ अन्य साधक
still others offer all the functions of the sense faculties and of the vital life currents into the fire of the yoga of self control, which is ignited by wisdom.
तो आत्म संयम योग की अग्नि में ज्ञान द्वारा प्रज्वलित जो अग्नि है संयम
So
की,
this fire of self control, yoga of self control, which is ignited by wisdom, offering all our activities into that.
व्यक्ति जो है वो ज्ञान में
So point is, the person is situated in jnana.
उनको एक यंत्र की तरह नहीं कर रहा है।
He is not just doing it like a yantra or a machine.
पालन करते हैं,
Some people, they follow some rules, but they do not do it, they do not follow with awareness. They just follow blindly, they just imitate others blindly. Somebody told them why we are doing, what is the benefit of doing,
मेरा मन
or
उसमें है या नहीं है,
while doing that my mind is
तरह मैं
in that or no,
पालन कर लूं।
just following like a machine.
तो उस प्रकार नहीं है, यहाँ पर कहा ज्ञान दीपिते,
That is not what is being told here.
रहता है अविद्या नहीं।
Here it is ignited by wisdom,
समाधि की अवस्था,
not by ignorance.
यहाँ पर जो आत्म
So this is a state of samadhi. And here the Atma Sanyama, yoga of self-control, it is to be situated in samadhi.
धारणा ध्यान समाधि
In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, 3 things are mentioned
में रहना।
to be situated in that. So
जो है 5
our
अवस्थाएं रहती हैं,
chitta has 5 states.
क्षिप्त, मूढ़, विक्षिप्त, एकाग्र और समाधि या निरुद्ध। तो पहली जो 2 अवस्थाएं उनमें तो संयम
So the
होता
first
नहीं।
2 states, in that there is no self-discipline. First state is the kshipta. Kshipta means
मन जो है बहुत चंचल,
mind is
रजोगुण
very much unstable, flickering,
रहता है, और उस
disturbed due to immense effect of
मन
rajogun. Due to that, mind is not stable.
किसी एक विषय पर टिकता नहीं है,
It is not focused on one topic or one object. It
और
keeps running
इसलिए
here
वो
and there. It is
स्थिर नहीं
restless.
होता है,
And for that person, it is not
धैर्य
possible
लगाना,
to do dhyan
इंद्रियों को नियंत्रित
or
करना।
to regulate the
नॉवडेज क्या होता
senses.
है कुछ लोगों को,
Nowadays, we see this
आजकल वो बीमारी हो गई,
regularly.
इसको
Nowadays,
एडीएचडी बोलते हैं,
people have
अटेंशन
this
डेफिशिएंसी।
disease of
बहुत लोगों को
attention
अटेंशन
deficiency.
डेफिशिएंसी या एडीएचडी, उसी को संस्कृत में बोलते हैं क्षिप्त अवस्था।
In Sanskrit, it is known as
तो
the
ये
state of being shipta.
आजकल बहुत लोगों में देखी
So
जाती है,
nowadays, it
बच्चों
is
में विशेषकर
seen
जिनका
very
खान पान इस तरह का है
highly in the children
और
because
जिनकी
they have these
दिनचर्या
wrong
चल
food
रही है ऐसी,
habits,
तो
wrong
मन
lifestyle.
बहुत
So
असंतुलित
due
रहता
to
है।
that, human being's
फिर
mind is
दूसरा
highly
आता है
disturbed.
मूढ़ अवस्था।
Then the next is the mood
मूढ़
state.
अवस्था में भी योग या यज्ञ कुछ नहीं किया जा सकता, कोई
In
साधना
this
नहीं,
state also, yoga, yagya is
केवल
not
निद्रा तन्हा
possible.
आलस्य से भरा रहता है,
In this state, the person
कुछ
is
करने
filled
का मन
with
नहीं होता।
sleep,
जैसे
laziness.
विषाद में
He doesn't like to
रस
do
नहीं
anything.
रहता है ना,
Like a person in the
और
state of depression,
अपने शरीर का भी ध्यान नहीं रखता है,
he is not
खाने पीने का
worried
भी ठीक
about
से
his
ध्यान नहीं
body
रखता है,
also, not
तो ये
careful
मूढ़
about
अवस्था
his
होती है।
food habits, lifestyle. So that
और
is
इसके
the
बाद
mood
आती है
avastha.
विक्षिप्त अवस्था।
Third is vikshipta state.
तो विक्षिप्त अवस्था में
In the vikshipta state,
रजस और तमस का कुछ संतुलन ऐसा बैठता है कि व्यक्ति
rajas and tamas are
अनुभव में
balanced in such
चंचलता
a
को
way
छोड़
that the
करके
person,
पकड़
although he is
सकता है,
restless, but sometimes
उसको
he can
नियंत्रित
catch
किया
hold
जा
of it.
सकता है।
For some time, he
योग
can
तो संभव
focus.
नहीं है।
In the first
तो
two
यहीं
states, it
से
is not
ऐसी
possible
अवस्था,
only.
जिसका चित्त ऐसी अवस्था में है
So
वहीं
one
से
who is
साधना
in the
संभव है,
vikshipta state, from that
अभी
state,
योग का
sadhana is
साधना संभव
possible.
नहीं।
In the first two states, no sadhana is possible.
और फिर वो अपने चित्त की अवस्था कितना विक्षिप्त है उसका, उसके अनुसार वो
And
साधन
then
करता है।
how much vikshipta is chitta is, accordingly he can do
जो कलयुग में श्री
sadhana.
चैतन्य महाप्रभु
So
ने
in
कहा वो
Kali Yuga,
चमत्कार
Sri
बताया,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he said, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam
हाँ,
for Sankirtan.
तो ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण उन्होंने मंत्र दिया है हमारे
So he
चित्त
has
को
given this very
समाहित करने के लिए,
important mantra
क्योंकि
to
कलयुग में लोगों के चित्त
focus
जो
our
होता है वो
chitta, control it. Because in Kali
शुद्ध
Yuga,
मूड और
generally
विक्षिप्त अवस्था में
people's
ही है,
chitta are in the first two
जागृत और
steps
निद्रित तो
only.
है नहीं। तो उसके लिए संकीर्तन बहुत अच्छा माध्यम है।
So for that, Sankirtan is a
नाम
very
कीर्तन,
good way, doing Nam Japa,
उससे
Nam Kirtan.
मन जो है धीरे धीरे
With that,
उसका भार
slowly
निकलता है,
the
संस्कार
mind,
निकलते
the
हैं,
impurity of the mind
मालिन्य
starts going
निकलता है,
away. The mind
और फिर
starts
वो
getting clean. The
शांत अवस्था
chitta
में
starts
आता है,
becoming
एकाग्र
clean.
अवस्था में आता है,
And then he achieves the
वहाँ से
Shanta
फिर
state, the Ekagra state.
साधन कर सकता
Then from there
है।
he
और अंतिम
can do
अवस्था
sadhan.
निरुद्ध अवस्था है,
And the final state is
समाधि
Niruddha,
अवस्था, चित्त
the
वृत्ति का
state of
निरोध।
Samadhi, having the
वो
Nirodha of Chitta
आसानी से
Vritti.
संभव नहीं है, वो तो
So
तभी
that is
संभव है जब
not easy.
व्यक्ति अपनी
That
साधना
is
को
only
अभ्यास करे
possible when the
और
person
अच्छी
does
तरह
his
से उसका
sadhana
अभ्यास
very
करे
nicely,
और
practices very nicely,
दीर्घकालीन
and practices
निरंतर
for a
अभ्यास
long
करे
time
बिना किसी
without any break,
रुकावट के। ऐसा नहीं
without
है
any
कि
obstacle.
2 दिन अभ्यास किया फिर 3 दिन
Not
छोड़
that
दिया,
he does practice for 2 days and then
तो
gives it up
निरंतर
on
ये
the
होना
third day.
आवश्यक है और
So
दीर्घकालीन।
uh, so he has to do it for
इससे फिर
long time.
पटभूमि की अवस्था आती है, उससे स्थिरता आती है।
He gets stability.
जो गंभीर साधक हैं
So those sadhakas who are
तो वो इस
serious,
प्रकार
who
की
are
साधना
grave,
करते हैं।
they do sadhana like this.
और आत्म संयम योग अग्नि में स्थित होने का मतलब यही है
To be situated in
कि
the
हमारे
yoga of
चित्त
self
हमारे
control
मन
means that our chitta,
निचली अवस्थाओं
our
में
mind,
प्राय करके रहता है,
which is generally in the lower states,
जो क्षिप्त मूड और विक्षिप्त अवस्था में
the
रहता है,
first three states,
तो इसको
Kshipta, Mood, and
प्रसन्नता से
Vikshipta.
धीरे धीरे
So how to uplift
ऊपर की
them
अवस्था में लाना।
slowly
तो उसके लिए यम
to the
नियम
higher states? So for
आसन
that there
प्राणायाम
is Yam, Niyam,
आहार
Asan,
विहार
Pranayam,
ये
our
सब
food
सही होना
habits,
चाहिए
Vihar, all these should be
और हमें एक बहुत
proper,
संतुलित
and
जीवन
we
जियाना
should
होगा, लेकिन
we have to lead a
दिनचर्या
very balanced,
संतुलित होनी चाहिए, तभी
disciplined life.
संभव है।
Only then is this possible.
तो ये भी एक
So
प्रकार का यज्ञ
this
है।
is also a type of yajna.
और फिर
Then
आगे और यज्ञ बताते हैं, द्रव्य
later
यज्ञ
he takes
तपो
more
यज्ञ
types of yajna.
योग यज्ञ तथा परे स्वाध्याय ज्ञान यज्ञश्च यतः संसितव्रताः। कुछ लोग द्रव्य
Some
दान
people
देकर
perform yajna by offering articles in
स्वाध्याय
charity.
यज्ञ करते हैं।
Others perform yajna by
कुछ लोग
undertaking
साधना द्वारा
penance.
शासन से यज्ञ
Others
करते
do
हैं।
so through the
कुछ
classical
लोग
yoga
स्वाध्याय
discipline,
द्वारा ज्ञान
while
की
others
साधना
still
करते
engage in
हैं।
yajna through cultivation of wisdom by study of
ज्ञान
the
की साधना
Vedas.
में दृढ़ रहते
All of
हुए
these
सब
performers who are perseverant in their
नियमों का पालन
practices
करते हैं।
observe austere vows.
यतः संस्कृत व्यता यतः यतः का मतलब ये यम नियम में जो रथ है, और
So
संस्कृत
one
का
who is
मतलब
situated in yam niyam
दृढ़ है,
is very
नियमों में बहुत स्थिर
determined
है,
in following the rules, stable,
यत्नशील रहते हैं।
is always endeavoring to follow properly.
उसमें जो 5 नियम आते
So
हैं,
the 5 yamas and niyamas which are there, he follows them,
हर समय हर
and
स्थिति हर स्थिति में पालन
always,
करना,
every time, in every
तो महाव्रत
situation,
कहा
he
जाता है।
follows them. So these are known as Mahavrata.
इसमें उन्होंने 4 प्रकार के यज्ञों का वर्णन किया।
So
पहला
in this, he
द्रव्य
has
यज्ञ है,
explained
द्रव्य
about 4
द्वारा
types of yagyas.
जिसमें किसी वस्तुओं का प्रयोग
We
होता
know
है,
about
जैसे
dravya,
जल
like
है,
different
वस्त्र
items are
आदि
used,
हैं।
whether food, water,
तो इनको
herbs,
दान देना दूसरों के लिए,
giving them in charity to
अन्य
others.
यज्ञ का मतलब जैसा कहा प्रतीकात्मक अर्थ
As
है।
I said, the here
यहाँ
yajna is used in the symbolic sense, not just literally pouring oblations
तो
in the
इसको
sacrificial fire.
पूर्त बोलते हैं संस्कृत में।
So in Sanskrit, this is known as
तो 3
purta.
प्रकार से दान दिया जाता है।
Dana, charity is given in 3 ways,
दूसरों के कल्याण के
3
लिए
types.
कार्य किए जाते हैं।
So what is done for others' welfare in this world?
जैसे पहले जल इतना उपलब्ध नहीं था, तो
Like
लोग
earlier, we did not
दूसरों
have
के
so
लिए
much
शुद्धि
water.
के लिए कुआं
So
बनवाते
for
थे,
others' sake, people used to dig
बावड़ियाँ
wells.
बनवाते थे। अभी भी पुरानी बावड़ियाँ हैं जिसमें वर्षा का जल एकत्रित हो जाता है, फिर
Now
कुएं
also you
छानते हैं।
have these huge wells
पुराने
called
हैं,
bawdi,
आजकल तो प्रयोग में नहीं आते,
where
पुरानी
rainwater
बावड़ियाँ
used to
हैं,
be
कुएं
collected.
बनाते
You can see one in
हैं।
Vrindavan
बड़ा
also.
बढ़िया
You go and
तरीके से
see
बनाते थे,
how it nicely it was
गड्ढा
constructed
गड्ढा खोद के उसमें सीढ़ियाँ,
by
उसमें जल
digging
को
quite
एकत्रित
deep,
करते थे,
and then
फिर
there
उसी जल
was there were
प्रयोग
stairs
करते
to
थे।
go down and collect water.
तो इस प्रकार के तालाब बनाना,
So making these type of
औषधालय
like
खोलना, अन्नशाला
reservoirs,
चलाना,
opening
विद्यालय,
pharmacies, hospital,
बच्चों की
food
शिक्षा,
distribution camp,
दूसरों को
schools,
वस्त्र दान करना,
giving clothes
ये
in
सब द्रव्य
charity.
यज्ञ में आता है।
So all these they fall under the category of dravya
दूसरा जो
yajna.
है वो
Then the
तपो यज्ञ
second
है।
is tapo yajna.
तो तपो यज्ञ का मतलब होता है तप करना।
It means doing
तपस्या,
undertaking penance, doing
तपस्या
tapasya.
का हमारे शास्त्रों में धर्म में बहुत
In
महत्व
our
है।
shastras, in dharma, tapasya has
कहानियाँ
been
सुनते
given
हैं
lot of
ऋषियों की कि वो बड़ी बड़ी तपस्या
importance.
करते थे,
You hear stories
बड़े
of
ऊंचे होते
rishis, the
हुए
sages doing great tapasyas.
कठोर
Dhruv,
तपस्या की
he
थी,
was a child, but he
जो
did very severe
पत्ते खाकर
austerity,
ही रहता था,
standing on one leg, surviving just on some leaves.
पत्ता खाना भी बंद कर दिया,
And then he stopped
जल
eating
पीना
leaves also. He was living on water. He stopped consuming water
सांस लेना भी
also.
बंद कर
Then
दिया।
he stopped breathing
तो इस
also.
प्रकार की तपस्याएं पहले
So
लोग करते
earlier,
थे।
people used
पंचाग्नि
to do
तप करना,
tapasyas like this, Panchagni
चारों
tapa,
तरफ आग जलाना और गर्मी में सूरज के नीचे
lighting
सीढ़ियों
fire
पर
all
खड़ा
around, and
होकर
then standing on
खड़ा होकर
under
उसमें
the
जप करना, या
under hot
सर्दी का
sunlight
मौसम है तब
in a very
नदी
peak
के
summer season,
कंठ तक जल में खड़े होकर
or in very cold winter,
या कृष्ण चांद्रायण
standing in the
जो
water,
व्रत होते हैं,
or there are Chandrayan vratas
आप जो है पूर्णमासी से आरंभ कीजिए।
that you start from Purnamasi.
पूर्णमासी के दिन आप 15 ग्रास भोजन करेंगे, फिर चतुर्दशी को 14 करेंगे,
So then you
त्रयोदशी
will
को 13,
eat
द्वादशी
15
को
grass
15, द्वादशी को
and
15,
then
इस
fixed
तरह करके
quantity like
आप
that
एक एक
later.
दिन एक एक ग्रास घटाते जाएंगे और
So every
अमावस्या
day
को
you
उसकी
keep reducing by
उसके
one
बाद आप
portion,
एक
and
एक
then you
ग्रास
will not
घटाते
eat
जाएंगे,
anything
कार्तिक
on
मास
Amavasya,
व्रत
and then you keep
करना,
increasing by one
चांद्रायण व्रत,
portion. Like this Chandrayaan
कृष्ण
Vrat
व्रत
goes
होते
on
हैं।
till 1 month. Till 1 month,
इस
then there is
प्रकार अनेक
Kricha Vrat.
प्रकार के व्रत पहले
Like
लोग
this,
करते
there
थे,
are people used to do many vratas
और
earlier,
बाकी साधारण व्रत तो होते हैं, जैसे एकादशी
and
का व्रत,
ordinary anyway.
जन्माष्टमी का
Other vratas are there like Ekadashi, Janmashtami, etc.
अवतार की जयंती आती है उस दिन
Or appearance day of any other
ये सब
avatar,
अनेक
we
प्रकार
do
की तपस्याएं हैं
fasting on that day. So like
इससे
this,
भी
there
क्या
are
होता है कि
many
हमारा
ways of
शरीर जो है
fasting. So this
उस पर ज़्यादा चर्बी नहीं चढ़ती है
uh,
तपस्या
helps
करने
in
से
reducing fat in the
जैसे
body.
आप
So tapasya,
अग्नि के ऊपर कुछ पानी वानी रखेंगे तो सूख जाएगा ना
like
वैसे हमारा शरीर भी सूख जाता है
so,
तो
if
कठिनाई
you
हो जाता है तपस्या से
so body loses the
इसलिए
fat,
इस पर बहुत
becomes
ध्यान
little
दिया जाता
slim.
है
So
धर्मशास्त्रों
earlier,
में
this
बहुत
was
वर्णन है
emphasized a lot.
अनेक प्रकार के व्रतों
There
का
is a lot of explanation of these vratas in the Dharma
और
Shastras.
इसका
And
और भी है कुछ लोग केवल फल खाकर ही रहते हैं
there are other
कुछ
ways
लोग
also.
सब्जी
Some people
खाकर
just
रहते
eat
हैं
fruit,
कुछ
some
मांसाहारी
people just
खाते हैं
survive on
कुछ
vegetables, some
केवल
just
दूध
eat
पीकर रहते हैं
raw, some people live
तो
only
इसमें
on
अनेक
milk.
प्रकार के
So there
व्रत
are different
होते हैं
types
कुछ
of
मौन
fasting.
व्रत रखते हैं
Some they just
जिसका
remain
अर्थ मौन
silent,
यज्ञ
that
है
is Mauna Vrat. So
और
different
जो
types of
योग
vratas
यज्ञ
are there.
योग यज्ञ का
And then there is Yoga
विधि तो आप
Yajna.
जानते हैं उसमें अष्टांग योग है
So we know there is
योग है
Ashtanga
आसन
Yoga,
प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधि या फिर समता का योग है जिसका वर्णन
or there is the
भगवत
yoga
गीता
of
में किया है सत्य
equanimity, the
सिद्धि
yoga of
समाधि
equilibrium,
असमत्व
what
योग
Bhagavan explained earlier,
कि हर स्थिति में लाभ
that
हानि
in
जय
every
पराजय सुख
situation,
दुख
whether it is profit, loss, victory,
उन्नति
defeat,
अवनति
happiness,
अनुकूल
sorrow,
प्रतिकूल जैसी भी स्थिति है
favorable, unfavorable,
उसमें
whatever be the
संयम
situation, to remain equipoised
तो
in the
समता का
situation,
योग
not
है
becoming
योग
disturbed.
यज्ञ है
So that is the
अनेक
yoga
प्रकार
of
के योग हैं
samatha,
राज योग
equanimity.
कुंडलिनी योग
So the Nad Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, so many
ये
different
सभी
yogas are
सिखाते हैं
there.
और फिर जो चौथा वाला यज्ञ इस श्लोक में बताया है वो है स्वाध्याय ज्ञान यज्ञ
Then the fourth yajna
तो ये
explained in this
स्वाध्याय
verse
करना
is
भी जरूरी है
Swadhyaya Jnani Yajna. So Swadhyaya,
तो
study of Vedas, that is also
स्वाध्याय
yajna.
क्यों करना है
People say that why do you have to
इसकी क्या
study?
आवश्यकता है
What is the need of studying?
यहाँ तो भगवान उसको भी यज्ञ
But here
बना रहे हैं
Bhagavan is saying that is also
कि आप
yajna.
गीता का अध्ययन करें
That if you are
भागवत
studying
का अध्ययन
Gita,
करें शास्त्रों
Bhagavata,
का अध्ययन करें
Shastras,
वेदों का अध्ययन करें
Vedas,
स्वाध्याय शब्द का प्रयोग जो है पूर्व
Swadhyaya
मीमांसा
word
यानी
is
वेद
used in
शाखाओं
Purva
का अध्ययन करने
Mimamsa
में आता है
in the
स्वाध्याय
sense of
अध्येतव्यम
studying
हर एक
one's
व्यक्ति
own
को
Veda Shakha, that every
वेद की
person
शाखा का अध्ययन
he
अवश्य करना
should
चाहिए
study his Veda Shakha,
लेकिन यहाँ
the branch of
विशेष
Vedas
रूप से
meant for him.
यहाँ केवल
But here
शास्त्र
Bhagavan is
अध्ययन
not telling in that sense. He is just
क्योंकि
telling in the
शास्त्र
sense,
भगवान ने दिए
general sense
इसलिए
of
हैं
studying Shastras. Because Bhagavan has
हमारे
given
शास्त्रों में
Shastras for
भगवान
studying
कहते हैं
only.
कार्य कार्य व्यवस्थित हो ज्ञात्वा शास्त्र विधानोक्तम कार्य कर्तुम हर्षि भगवान स्वयं कहते हैं कि शास्त्र के
Bhagavan
विधान को
himself
समझो
says
तभी
that
उससे
understand,
कर्म करो
learn Shastra,
नहीं तो आपको
and
पता ही नहीं
then
चलेगा कि मतलब
act
कर्म क्या
according
है
to
सही
what
है
you have
गलत
learnt
है
in
करना
Shastra.
चाहिए या नहीं करना
Otherwise, you will
चाहिए
not understand what you should do, what you should
इसलिए
not
भगवान
do.
स्वयं कहते हैं कि उनका अध्ययन करना
So
चाहिए
Bhagavan himself
और वो
says
यह भी
that we
कहते हैं
should
कि शास्त्रों का
study
अध्ययन
them.
किए बगैर
And
जो
he
करता
also
है
says
उसको शांति सुख
that one who
और
acts without
मोक्ष प्राप्ति नहीं
studying
होती
Shastra, he will not become
सृष्टि
peaceful, he
बंधनों
will
में
not be happy,
तो इसलिए
and he
ये
will not get liberation.
हर एक साधक का
So, this
कर्तव्य
is
है
a duty of every sadhak
स्वाध्याय ज्ञान यज्ञ साधना
that
ज्ञान शब्द
he
के
should
द्वारा
do Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. Bhagavan has
स्वाध्याय का
added
मतलब
the
है
word
कि
Jnana
श्लोक
also.
पाठ करना
Because
ज्ञान
Swadhyaya
की
does
बात
not
करना
mean here just you
उसको
recite
समझें
stotras, Gita,
और
etc.
भगवान अंत में स्वयं ही
So
कहते हैं
you should have to
अभ्यस्य
understand them
पाठशाला
also.
धर्म्यम
And
संवादम
in the
आह
end, Bhagavan will himself say,
ज्ञान यज्ञ नितेह नाहम इष्टोहम श्यामिति में मति कि जो हमारे इस संवाद का अध्ययन करता है
Bhagavan says that one who
धर्म का
studies
संवाद है
our dialogue,
तो
this
उसने
dialogue of
मुझको
dharma,
ज्ञान यज्ञ से पूजा है उसने मेरे
so
ज्ञान
that is
यज्ञ
like
से
worshipping me with Jnana Yajna.
तो अध्ययन की बात उन्होंने स्वयं की है
So Bhagavan has
इसलिए
himself
एक एक
spoken
श्लोक
about
को ठीक से
study
अध्ययन करना जैसा
of
हम कर रहे
Shastra.
हैं
So
ये
learning every
स्वाध्याय ज्ञान
verse
यज्ञ में आता है
carefully, nicely, like we are
और
studying. So this is
इससे
Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna.
जो अंतिम पुरुषार्थ है उसकी प्राप्ति होती है उसको मोक्ष की दृष्टि से करेंगे तो
So
मोक्ष
this
प्राप्त
helps you
होगा
to achieve the
भक्ति की दृष्टि
ultimate
से करेंगे
Purusharth.
तो
If you do it
भक्ति
for achieving
प्राप्त होगी
moksha, you will get moksha. If you do it
तो
for getting bhakti, you
ये
get
अनेक
bhakti.
प्रकार के यज्ञों का
So these different types of yagyas are explained here by Bhagavan, and later also in two more verses he will explain, and we will study that in the next class. If you have any question related to today's class, you can ask.
यूट्यूब से एक प्रश्न है बाबा जी, चूँकि अब
Question:
यज्ञ के लिए कोई भी शुद्ध सामग्री उपलब्ध नहीं है और
since
यज्ञ सही
pure
समय
items
और
are not available for conducting
क्या उसे
yagyas,
समझना सही है
and
कि
we do not have
यज्ञ
brahmanas
किसी
who
यज्ञ
can
में साधक हो
recite
सकता है
properly,
क्योंकि वह यज्ञ
can
कोई
a
फल और
devotee
ना ही हानि देगा।
participate in yagya, that he will not, it will not give benefit or any loss. So what is the use of doing that? It will not give any result. When you yourself are saying it will not give any result, then why do you participate in that? And how do you know that there will be no loss? You will not get any benefit. You gave logic that items are polluted, mantra recitation is not perfect, but how do you know that there will be no loss, there will be no damage? Because it is said in Shastra that if you do not recite the mantras properly, then there will be trouble, there will be, you will have to suffer.
यजमान का नुकसान करता है, यथेंद्र शस्त्रो स्वर्तो
It
अपराध,
brings harm to the yajman.
स्वर के अपराध से इंद्र शत्रु विवर्धस्व से उसका हानि हुई ना.
Just by change of one swara, what happened to the Indra Vitrasur episode?
नवदीप जी का प्रश्न है,
Next question:
क्या आप
can you please explain bhog
भोगनिवृत्त भाव को विस्तार से समझा
bhogat
सकते हैं? यह एक साधक के लिए प्रतिकूल क्यों है?
bhoktritva bhav in some detail?
कर्तव्य कर
Why
रहे
is
हैं,
it counterproductive for a sadhaka, and how can a sadhak while performing duties and seva
भोग
keep the consciousness free from bhog?
भोग क्या?
त्रिवृत्त
भोग त्रिवृत्त क्या है?
Bhoktritva without becoming superficial. Bhoktritva.
निवृत्त और प्रवृत्त तो है, लेकिन ये त्रिवृत्त क्या होता है? समझ नहीं आया क्या है. और है कोई?
जोशिका जी का प्रश्न है,
Question:
चित्त की जो चौथी अवस्था है,
the fourth state of
उसका
chitta,
नाम क्या है?
what is its name? That is called ekagra. Can you explain that? Ekagra means that your mind is
स्थित हो जाता है. जैसे अगर आप नाम जप करते हैं,
fixed up on something, one thing.
नाम जप में ही
Like if your mind is fixed on Nam Japa,
रहता है,
it is just fixed on that only. It does, you do not get thought of anything else in the mind.
नवदीप जी कहते हैं भोग वृत्ति, भोग वृत्ति ना कि त्रिवृत्त. सो उन्होंने गलत लिख दिया था, पर वो कह रहे हैं भोग वृत्ति की बात कर रहे हैं वो.
तो क्या प्रश्न, क्या अभी प्रश्न सुनिए.
क्या आप भोग वृत्ति भाव को
So
विस्तार से
question is,
समझा
can you explain bhog vritti bhava in some detail? So bhog vritti means to accept something more than what you need, like say food. Easiest example to understand.
उद्देश्य है हमारा शरीर का पोषण, क्योंकि हमारा शरीर भोजन
The
से बना हुआ है और भोजन
food is meant for nourishment of body, because body is made of food.
उस दृष्टि से
It sustains on food only. So one is to eat with that mentality that I need food for nourishing my body, so I accept how much I need. And other is from the point of bhoga,
केवल स्वाद
because when you eat you get taste also, so eating just for the taste, that is bhoga vritti, like what people do nowadays. You don't have hunger, there is no need to eat, because hunger indicates that now you need food,
फिर भी आप खाते रहते
but still you keep eating.
भूख है, आपने भोजन
Or let's say you have hunger, you eat food,
और भी ज्यादा
you are relieved of hunger, but due to taste you eat more than what you need to satisfy hunger. So this is bhoga vritti. So you have to be, you have to control this. First of all, you have to understand what is the
भोजन का उद्देश्य
purpose of food. So the purpose of food is nourishment of body.
और
So you need nourishment, and taste is not the primary purpose. Taste also should be good, because otherwise you will not be satisfied if taste is not good, and you will keep thinking about food. But only eating for food and making that as the primary objective, that is wrong. The main purpose should be nourishment of body. So we have to understand this. Otherwise, but as Bhartrihari says, that bhog leads to rog, and if you control the bhog, then there is yog. So when you do the bhog in disciplined way, controlled way, then it turns to yog. And if you do it just for enjoying, for taste, then it will lead to rog, that is disease, mental disease also, because mind will never be satisfied. But body has its limit, how much it can digest. If you take more than that, then it will create indigestion and then all kinds of diseases. This undigested food is the cause of all diseases.
दिव्या
So
जी
we have
मेरा
to
क्वेश्चन है,
understand that.
मेरा
Next
मन
question.
हमेशा इंद्रिय
My
सुखों की तरफ
mind
रहता है,
is always
उसको
absorbed
नियंत्रित
in
करने के लिए
sense
बहुत कठिन है,
enjoyment.
क्योंकि
It is
मैंने
very
उन्हें
difficult
प्रत्यक्ष कभी
to
नहीं देखा।
absorb my
मैंने
mind
स्मरण
in
पढ़ा है,
Krishna, because I have
लेकिन
never
मेरे
seen
कर्म
him. I have
उन्हीं
just
में से
heard or
हैं।
read about him.
लेकिन
It is
जो मेरे
difficult for me
भगवान
to
की
work
सेवा
for
में लगे
him
रहते
also.
हैं, उनका
But
मन
the
इतना
guru who
आसान
is
है कि वो उनके
absorbed
भगवान
in
की सेवा
seva
कर
to
रहे होते हैं
Bhagavan,
और
so
उनकी सेवा भी कर सकते
absorbing
हैं।
mind in the guru is
भगवान की
easy,
सेवा
because I
में
can see him
आविष्टता होना
and I can do his seva.
भगवान की सेवा में
So
आविष्ट होने के समान है, या
is
मैं गलत सोच रही
absorbing
हूँ?
in guru seva is same as absorbing in seva of Bhagavan. So answer yes, both are same only. If your mind is absorbed in guru seva, you just remain absorbed in that. With that you will achieve Bhagavan also. Bhagavan himself says,
तो गुरु की सेवा करना सर्वोत्तम है।
so serving guru is topmost. Even Shastra prescribes that.
तो उसके तो अनेक प्रमाण शास्त्र में है।
So there are so many pramanas in the Shastra for Guru Seva, for satisfying Guru. If Guru is satisfied, pleased, Bhagavan is pleased, he is satisfied.
नवदीप जी का प्रश्न है,
Next
यदि
question.
कोई व्यक्ति
If
बड़ी
one
ध्यान
hears
पूर्वक हरि शब्द
Harinam or
या हरिनाम
participates in
संकीर्तन में
Harinam
भाग लेता है,
Sankirtan
तो क्या
without
ऐसा
proper
व्यक्ति
attention
सच्ची
or
ध्यान से
conscious
युक्त है
absorption,
और भक्ति में
does such practice
आसक्तिरत
still
चित्त
help the
रहने लग
Jiva
पड़ता है?
become free from
मैंने सुना
ignorance
है
or
कि यह
develop
भक्ति
attachment to
स्वतंत्र है
Bhakti?
और बाह्य
I have
परिस्थितियों
heard
पर
that
निर्भर
Bhakti is
नहीं करती।
independent and not
यदि
dependent
ऐसा
on
नहीं
external
होता कि
conditions. Yet
साधना करना
it seems that the
इष्टानिष्ट
Jiva
है,
must
जीव
at
को कम
least
से कम
reach
इस
the
बात
third
जानकर
stage to
पहुंचना
begin
आवश्यक है।
performing
क्या आप
sadhana.
इसे
Can
स्पष्ट
you
कर सकते
kindly
हैं?
clarify this?
तो आपका उत्तर तो आपके प्रश्न में ही है, जो आपने कहा कि ऐसा
So
करने
you
से क्या आसक्ति
yourself are answering your question. You are telling, by doing this, will he become attached without being aware? If he is hearing Harinam or Kirtan, will he become attached to the Kirtan, to Bhakti? So what do you mean by asakti or attachment? Whatever you are doing, you are attached to that, you have interest in that, you are aware of that. Ultimately, the point is about becoming aware only.
ध्यान का आरंभ से ही अभ्यास कीजिए और नहीं
Whether you do it from beginning
कर
or
पाएंगे, लेकिन लाना तो
you don't know when you will reach that stage, but then you have to come to that stage of being aware, becoming aware. Otherwise, Sri Rup Goswami himself says,
हरिणाचे आसुदेवते तिस्यात् सुदुर्लभ। कहते हैं कि अगर आप अनासंग होकर साधन करते हैं, अनासंग का मतलब वही जो आप
so
कह
Sri
रहे
Rup
हैं,
Goswami says that if you do sadhan without awareness, without attachment,
सुचिरादपि, आप बहुत समय तक उसको करते रहिए और खूब साधन
you
कीजिए,
keep
बहुत
doing it
साधन
for a long time and do a flood of sadhanas.
साधन हो गई अनासंग।
Without, if you do sadhana for a long
वो ये
time
नहीं कह रहे कि
and bring a flood of
थोड़ी देर के
sadhanas,
बाद मिल जाएगी आपको, कहते
he
हैं
is
नहीं
not telling you will still get it. He is telling
गलत
still you will not get it.
तो ये तो तो लोगों के मन में एक भ्रम बैठा हुआ है।
So this is an illusion in
ऐसा
people's
कहा जाता है
minds.
कि जैसे
So
भी
when
करो
it is
नाम
said
ले लो
that
आप,
whichever way you
वो
take
तभी मुक्ति
name,
है। वो विधान
that
नहीं है।
is not a vidhan, that is not a prescription, that is
शास्त्र में अनेक प्रकार के
Shastra is telling the glory of the name, the power of the name. Shastra has many statements. One is Vidhi Vakya,
और एक
how to
उसमें
do an
लगाने के लिए
activity.
उनके
And
साथ में
in
एक
order
बात कही
to
जाती है,
absorb the mind in that, Shastra tells the glory of that
वो उनकी
particular
प्रशंसा में कहा
activity.
गया है।
So that
प्रशंसा वो
statement
झूठी नहीं है,
is
तो
true,
उसको
that
फॉलो करो।
glorification is
जैसे उसके
true,
पीछे
but it is a
ये
glorification.
हमारा इसमें लाभ
And
करने के
the
लिए हम
purpose of the
कहते हैं,
glorification is,
ऐसे ही
which
कहा
is
जाता है
true
कि भाई ऐसे
statement,
करो,
to
ऐसा
engage the
करो।
mind in that. And then how to engage the mind, how to do it, for that there are vidhi
ध्यान में
vakyas.
बैठिए
Like in Gita, Bhagavan will say, for
और
dhyana, you sit
दिशा
alone,
अवलोकन, इधर उधर मत देखिए,
don't look here and
मन
there,
को लगाइए।
absorb your
ध्यान करते
mind.
हुए तो नाम जप में
So
कोई
when he's talking about awareness, doing dhyana, same thing you have to do for nam jap also.
बाबा जी मेरा एक प्रश्न है कि आप
Next question.
असंप्रज्ञात समाधि को थोड़ा समझा सकते हैं?
Can you
असंप्रज्ञात
explain what is asampragyat samadhi? Asampragyat means those who want nirgun
मन का
brahma.
कोई विषय नहीं होता है, मन को बिल्कुल
So they don't have any vishaya for
शुद्ध कर
dhyana.
दिया जाता है विषय से, ना कोई रूप, ना
Mind
कोई
is made free from vishaya.
असंप्रज्ञात
No form, no name. That is
निर्बीज
asampragyat.
समाधि
No, it is also called nirbija samadhi.
प्रश्न है क्या
Next question.
ज्यादा वजन वाले लोग मानसिक
Are
रूप से
overweight people
बीमार होते हैं?
mentally sick?
नहीं, ऐसा कोई आवश्यक नहीं है, लेकिन वो तो
No,
तपस्या
there is no
करोगे
such
तो
rule.
आपका वजन तो
But
कम
if you
होगा।
do tapasya, then naturally your
तप
weight will
पूरा
reduce,
गर्म होता
because
है,
tapa means
जिसको आप गर्म करते
to
हो तो
bring
आप
more
भारी हो
heat.
जाएंगे।
So when you heat something, it becomes
मेरा
light.
कहने का मतलब वो नहीं था,
So I did not mean in the
लेकिन अगर
sense
आप
of
जरूरत
somebody
से ज्यादा
being
पानी पीते
overweight.
हैं,
But if you eat more than required,
कुछ लोगों की प्रकृति ही ऐसी है कि जो
one is that some people
कफ
have
के
that
रोग हैं, उनका
prakriti in
वजन
their body only,
बढ़ेगा ही,
kapha
सबके
prakriti,
रोग
their
बढ़ते
weight
हैं।
will naturally
लेकिन
increase.
अगर आप
There is no problem in that.
जरूरत से ज्यादा
But
भोजन करते हैं और आपका वजन
if
बढ़ता है,
your
तो
weight is
ऐसे रोग
increasing because of
आपको
overeating,
आलस्य पैदा करेंगे।
then it will bring mental problems, it will bring laziness.
चलो प्रार्थना श्लोक। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपाल नंदनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर भोक्ता दुग्धम गीतामृतम महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम् यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांघ्रये। भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपापप्रणाशनं प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम्। हरि ओम तत्सत्।